step by step exactly what to include in your pitch, exactly what not to include, what to leave out, breaking it down minute by minute so you can pitch your deal like I would. That's the key. I have it worked out. I've perfected the structure. You need to copy the sequence, which allows you to be yourself without being salesy in any way. Like I said, we've only had time to scratch the surface and just a small part of the method today. The training in my pitch mastery system is going to show you how to build your big idea step by step. Even if you don't know anything about narratives or storytelling or any of that stuff, don't worry. We take you through the whole process and give you proven examples, templates. You quickly apply that to your product or your service. That's how it works. You learn exactly how to offer your deal, down to all the nitty-gritty details around price, deal terms, timelines, and process. That's all you need. We have the scripts. You download, copy, and tweak, and you fit it to your pitch exactly. These scripts leave you room to use your own personality, your charisma, style. Again, that's the key, right? Use my formula based on science and data, but stay authentic and true to yourself. If you've ever felt small or disadvantaged during a pitch because you were trying to stay true to your values, it's because you were under frame control by someone else. And the all-important module on frame control shows you how to flip the script, even when the buyer has obvious advantages over you. Listen to this community member, Keith. He describes the advantages that mastering frame control has given him in meetings.
The point that was revolutionary for me was really setting the frame and creating that frame, and the idea that you actually get to choose the frame that someone looks through, the lens that they look through, was very powerful. It's not just powerful, but it was freeing because it allows you to create and to force rank how you want somebody to look at something. And rather than trying to convince them of it, you go down that road yourself, you set that frame, you take that control, and it changes the whole narrative. And it creates opportunity for success.
Okay, that's awesome, man. I've been so proud of what Keith's been able to do and the success he's had since joining. The Strong Method modules are also going to show you how to get your buyers so engaged they actually start selling themselves. That's important, right? Because it's too much work to be selling all the time. The buyer needs to do their fair share of doing a deal. Yeah, there really are specific things you can do to get the buyers so interested in your deal that they'll negotiate against themselves just to speed things along. Concede important deal points, not even mention price to you, all to sell themselves because they want to get the product, the service. That's the best feeling, right? When they negotiate against themselves to speed things up. And finally, I'll show you how to master the last few minutes of any meeting to ensure the buyer's money actually gets into your account from their account as quickly as possible. That's an important step too. A lot of people leave out. I see a lot of people sell, right? Most of us can't resist the urge to act needy at the end of a meeting. You start wanting it so bad. But when you understand how to pull away, give the buyer a small but really important amount of autonomy, you'll never have to chase down a check again. Let the buyer close himself. Give him autonomy. Look, I don't have time to tell you about all the powerful stuff these modules cover. We're moving quick today. But when we work together, you're going to have everything you need to quickly, easily refine your entire pitch, even down to the second. If you're a geek like me and you want to get that detailed, I get very detailed. You're going to get all the transcripts and audio versions of each video to make things convenient for you. And because all the pitches happen in dynamic social settings where anything can happen, we give you proven scripts in each module for dealing with the kind of scenarios and objections that tend to pop up when you're with a buyer. Believe me, after doing thousands of deals, I've seen it all, and I've learned how to manage really tough situations, toughest situations ever, right? People ask me about scripts, right? Well, are they important? They're important for situations you don't deal with all the time. They help you take care of yourself when something happens weird, unusual, unexpected. Scripts, you can rely on them to keep that stress to a bare minimum and solve dozens of problems a day. For example, when you're on the phone, a voice you've never heard suddenly unmutes and starts asking tough questions, right? What's even the first step to deal with that correctly? We've dealt with this so many times, and I have a script for it. These scripts are going to tell you exactly what to say when people aren't reacting positively to your pitch, if that happens. We'll walk you through every meeting, every phone call, feeling prepared and confident. There'll never be a moment when you're stuck or wondering what to do next. Guess what? If you do have a question, right, and you're stuck and you want some feedback, that's what our live group coaching calls are for. I love these. I've fixed maybe 500-600 pitches recently, 1,200, 1,500 overall, easily. And people come back and say, it worked. Here's what getting that kind of feedback on your pitch is like, according to Damien, who we heard from earlier, telling about his 80% close rates.
The live coaching calls are one of the things that's really set pitch mastery apart for me. The fact that not only to be there live and to get a question or an issue into the office in advance and for that to be addressed, but the library of chronicled issues and topics that have been covered over the years, what a great resource. I've spent hours in there.
So over the last year, Damien has asked us some great questions on his live calls, and I'd love to hear your questions too. If the approach I'm describing here today resonates with you, if you're looking for an edge, a better way to sell, Pitch Mastery is for you. Give you access to everything you need to implement this into your sales process. You can close more deals, less time, less stress. And listen, if you're stuck in the old school, you believe in things like asking lots of questions, achieving rapport, feel, felt, found statements, and all the stuff guys like Zig Ziglar was teaching in the 80s, that's fine if you really believe in that stuff, because this won't work between us, and that's okay. But my gut says, obviously, something about this method of pitching intrigued you enough to be here today and listen. So when you truly put the best pitch in front of a buyer, right? Everything in the right order, the right amount of detail, a strong narrative, but you also don't act like you need it, and you don't need the buyer's validation of you or your products. Then you've reached a dangerously awesome level of effectiveness. That's when you can double sales. At Pitch Mastery, we know you have something great because you care enough to sell it the right way. And we give you the tools and the one-on-one guidance to help you do that. That's why my team and I include the live coaching calls, where you can ask questions and get expert direction on how to sell more. I could go on about this. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. I know all the features and the benefits, but it would probably be more meaningful for you to hear about Pitch Mastery from more community members who have implemented my system in their own sales process.
I have spent probably the last year working with Pitch Anything and understanding the Pitch Mastery program, and it's absolutely changed my life in the way that I structure my deals and the way that I approach situations and negotiations, and it's been amazing.
I love hearing this stuff. Walking into a room, getting on the phone, getting on Skype or whatever, and knowing you hold the power and you have the status to control the meeting. It's everything. I want you to have that too. When you join Pitch Mastery, I'm committed to your goals, and so is our community. I know what it feels like to get emails saying it worked. I love getting those, and I want hundreds more. I want yours too. To make that happen, you need to get access to me and my team. Of course, people pay $25,000 or $50,000 for my input on their pitches. When they come to my office, we huddle around for a few hours, face-to-face, in person. I understand. That budget is not practical for most people. But there's a workaround for this. I'll get to those details in just a second. But one great thing first, for all the live coaching calls, the working sessions, the collaborative working one-on-one, we record these calls in case you can't listen in live. That means you already have access to over 200 recorded working sessions as soon as you get the confirmation email and the login to Pitch Master. And I understand no one can listen to 300 hours of training calls, but we've done a good job over time cataloging and categorizing so you can zoom in on the training calls that are about your business and what you're doing specifically. We keep adding resources to Pitch Mastery every month, so this becomes more and more valuable to you as time goes on. With this platform, you're going to be able to finally take all the information you know about your product, your buyer, your market, and sequence it into a perfect pitch that can increase your close rate 50% or 100%. And for some people, it's done even more. I like how it lets you respond with confidence to any curveball a buyer might throw at you during a meeting, and that's important. So you never look unprepared or unprofessional. And of course, eliminate the common mistakes that make buyers tune out. Check out the difference Drew experienced after we reworked a pitch that had previously failed with one of his company's biggest prospects.
One of my biggest success stories is that going to clients that other reps that worked with my company failed. And then I go in there, and then not only do I get the deal, but I get the biggest, most profitable deal ever. from people that have consistently told other professionals no. And then Drew shows up.
I love that last thing he said. And then Drew shows up. Have you ever had that feeling walking into a meeting with a prospect who has already told other reps no, but you know you're about to blow them away with something they've never seen before? It's an amazing feeling the first time you do this, but you get used to it pretty fast and you never want to go back. Anyway, let's tackle the question on everyone's mind. What does Pitch Mastery cost? People email us on a daily basis asking to get my help on their pitch deck, right? As much as the sound of customers queuing up brings joy to my heart, tears to my eyes, it's also a real problem. If they want me to actually create their pitch deck, I have to charge $50,000. But forget about that for a moment. I don't have time to do many of those anyway. But with Pitch Mastery, we've developed an effective way to help you close more deals and get away from cheesy, pushy sales tactics. Those can cause you to lose self-respect. I know I lose self-respect when I feel pushy. What we want you to be is natural, smooth, honest, and authentic. So here's the deal. The fact that you're here, I know you care about having a good pitch. You don't want to pressure your buyers using cheeseball sales techniques, and you care about getting your product or your idea out there in the right way. And since I'd love to never hear another pitch in my life with a trial close or a terrible 1980s sales tactics, right? We're not charging that $50,000, $10,000, whatever. We need to be practical about this. You can get instant, full access to the entire Pitch Mastery system right now with a real special offer, and our payment plan is also an option, right? And you can use it again and again for any pitch you ever need to create. All you need to do, click the Get Started Now button so you can get the complete system. You'll immediately get an email. Your login information comes through. You can get inside, start closing more deals with your best prospects using a rock solid pitch. And look, let's make this simple and easy. If you want to take a little bit of action right now and show us you're excited for anyone who joins Pitch Mastery during the webinar, I want to make sure you have everything you could possibly need to be successful. So we're going to include 4 exclusive free upgrades when you join now. Let me tell you about that. The first free upgrade is going to be a huge help to you before you even start your pitch. Because an awesome pitch is great to have, but you'll also need to have enough of the right prospects in your funnel to give it to. What if you don't know the people that you need to know? That's why we're including how to get big money contacts out of thin air. I love that title. It's fun, but that's exactly what it is. This is a vault of all my proven cold email and cold outreach strategies with actual word-for-word email and outreach scripts, templates, and samples. You can copy all this, paste it to build your network of leads, prospects, contacts, and fill your prospecting funnel fast, right? Just listen to what this Pitch Mastery member says about it.
So the value of the cold email the cold email outreach program was there's a lot of information in there and a lot of value. Whatever type of email you're trying to set out that's business based, has a method to use in order to get a higher conversion, a higher success rate. So with his program, I realized how to structure my email, what to include, what not to include, and remove all the waste.
I love hearing that stuff. So that means you're going to get my Pitch Mastery and how to get big money contacts out of thin air, which is a $2,000 valued system on its own, where just one of these scripts could land you a huge client, contact, or deal. But you're going to get it free when you hit the Get Started Now button on your screen. So when you add a new and better method like Pitch Mastery and you become part of the Pitch Mastery community, things get a lot easier. I know the community is part of my own success. More than a decade's worth of research backs this up. Pitch Mastery community brings you new, high-quality relationships. And I know from the research and from firsthand experience, you learn fastest in a community where people are honest, generous, and loyal. In terms of being loyal and generous, I said there are more free upgrades, right? So let's get to those. Free upgrade number 2 gives you access to my pitch deck library. That gives you more than 10 examples of done pitch decks that have closed real deals between $1 and $20 million each. After you see these decks, you're never going to have to pull a late-nighter, huddled over PowerPoint, worrying about whether your slides are going to kind of work for your buyer. You can use these templates for your own deck, which you can use not only in presentations, but as a tool for getting more meetings. On top of that, the pitch deck library also includes a 100% customizable file based on the Strong method. I made it myself. It's perfect. That means all you have to do is open in PowerPoint, and you can easily customize with your own information. Remember Scott? He was the member from earlier who went from hitting 3% of his goal to becoming the top salesperson in his company. Listen to the difference using my pitch deck and the templates and the difference it made for him.
So when I broke away from the standard corporate slide deck and started summarizing my slides, similar to how Warren built a pitch deck with the big idea in 96 font and the details in 14 font, really people started to really, I guess, get more involved. The conversations went smoother. They went a lot faster. And people got more involved at the end with questions. I was really surprised to find how much both executives and customers wanted to jump in and help with next steps at the end instead of me having to drive it all. The enthusiasm was quite high. And customers and executives alike would jump in and tell what seemed like pointless stories just because they wanted to be part of the enthusiasm at the end. Oren said it would happen. I didn't believe it, but it sure did.
What I like is if you can copy and paste, you can use this stuff and you can implement it fast. I know because we've already had over 3,000 members that do exactly that, like Scott. This stuff is stress tested again and again. It works. The customizable template lays out exactly where everything needs to go and takes all the time-consuming busy work out of putting together your own pitch deck. I never start from scratch, and neither should you. A good deck, combined with the email scripts we give you, will get you in front of more people. So that means you're getting the Pitch Mastery System, a $10,000 value all day long, right? How to get big money contacts out of thin air, which is my vault of copy and paste emailing and cold outreach scripts. That's a $2,000 item. And your personalized pitch deck with the pitch deck templates, that's another $2,000 value. That's $14,000 a product. But I have some other things I know you're going to want. So one of the biggest questions we get during Q&A periods, which is coming up in the next 5 minutes, so stick around, right, for that. What should I be doing differently if I'm trying to raise money instead of trying to sell a product? While the fundamentals of the pitch stay the same, the process of raising money is much different. That's why the third free upgrade you're going to get is a special training session called How to Raise $1 Million in 30 Days or Less. That's my specialty. This is a hard-hitting video. This is where I walk you through the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when they're fundraising. And I give you my proven process for not only getting the funding you need, but getting it from the right investors and avoiding the crazy ones. And there are plenty of those out there for sure. Raising money can be a brutal process, and most people make it way harder on themselves than they need to. I'm going to simplify the process. I'm going to walk you through the only 6 variables you need to focus on, right? There's only 6 things you need to focus on when you're out raising money. Even if you're not sure if you ever need or want to raise money, this is an insanely valuable skill to have. It will radically improve your negotiating skills. As I said before, companies regularly pay me a lot for just some consulting on raising money. But you're going to get this full video session for free as an upgrade. This training session and my custom Excel financial model are normally a $1,000 package. Then finally, the 4th upgrade is Pitch Anything Edge. That's my online companion to the book Pitch Anything. And we originally priced that $697. It gives you video and audio of real teardowns of how I would improve someone else's pitch, along with over 20 interviews with incredible entrepreneurs, companies like the CEO of Skullcandy, and my favorite, a British Special Services interrogator. That's really good. When you see how interrogators work, opens up a whole new line of thinking. So studying examples of real pitches and seeing these principles applied to them in real time is the fastest way to improve your own skills. And you get the whole thing as a free upgrade. So just to recap quickly, if you join before the end of our time together on this webinar, you're going to get instant full access to my complete pitch mastery system as I've described. How to get big money contacts out of thin air. The pitch deck library and the personalized pitch deck template. The training session on how to raise $1 million in 30 days and Pitch Anything Edge. Sold separately, I'd look in the whites of your eyes and ask for a bank wire direct to me for $15,000. Select the easy payment option. You can access Pitch Mastery right now for a fraction of the cost. All you need to do, click the Get Started Now button so you can get the complete system. You know, it's funny. when we started talking about the dollar value of this stuff, because the rewards for doing this, for pitching correctly, are so outsized, it's almost impossible to put a retail price on any of this that lives up to the value you can get from it. Look, to film this event, we needed lights and camera crews and know-how. I didn't look that up on YouTube, right? I always ask myself, in all my business projects where I'm stuck, right? Like legal, marketing, distribution, filming, whatever. Where can I give someone $10,000 and get all my problems solved? Where can I get a shot at making $1 million or more for myself by giving someone a little bit of money? I'm in, right? Where can I access 15 years of somebody's work for a little bit of money? Who's the number one expert in the world at this? And how can I pay to work with him? That's what the real guys ask themselves. For making this video and filming at this auditorium, I threw a little money at the problem and it went away. We filmed it. Poof. Experts do that for you. They let you be great at what you're best at. When you join and you get access to Pitch Mastery and you check out the pitch decks and the presentations, you'll realize how much easier life just got as a salesperson and how much more money you're going to make, right? We've joked a little today, but no joking around. I just wrote a pitch for a tech company and ended up raising $20 million using the exact method this is going to show you how to implement with your product. There isn't a product or service that we haven't dealt with. Backup technology, brain aneurysm coils, healthcare services, NASCAR, wealth management, Internet of Things. I'm working on a deal with NASA right now. And not everything I've done is fancy, right? Pet care, trucking, even light bulbs. Last week I worked on a crypto pitch and a house flipping pitch on the same day. Pitch Mastery works for your product. It has to. There are no blind spots. It works for tech, financial services, healthcare, transportation, manufacturing. It works in Palo Alto, New York, Dallas, Chicago, Kansas City, Tokyo, London, Zurich, Budapest, Shanghai, and Moscow. Doesn't matter. You cannot stump this system. There's no exception. Pitch Mastery is real. You don't have to take it from me. Just listen to what the members have to say.
The cost that I had to spend to get into the mastery class, for the doors that have been opened through the methodology of it, is just, it's incomparable. You can't compare the two.
Any type of salesperson, any type of business owner, in any type of industry can adapt the framework to something that fits their personality and the type of buyer that they deal with. And I don't think that's always the case with sales training. It is probably one of the highest returning training investments we've ever done.
It's effective, highly effective. Like right now, 2.5 times as effective as the industry standard in my industry. You know, they say, if you can sell 1 out of 3, you're good. And right now I'm selling 4 out of 5, which is still pretty good. People say, oh, well, that's lucky. But consistency is the key to it, and that's really where I differentiate myself from all my counterparts. But, Pitch Mastery certainly works. Or it has for me, and I'm nothing special.
What does your life look like when your close rates double, right? How are you spending your time after that? What problems are you no longer having to worry about? What are you driving to your presentations in, right? I say that I have 11 cars, right? I try not to show them off, but if you're a car guy, you're going to have a heart attack in my warehouse-sized garage. Seriously, though, if Pitch Mastery helped you close your next big client presentation, your sales call or your product pitch, would that be worth it? Only you can answer that. In the same line of thinking, if all it did was let you stop being afraid of buyers and worrying about what they're thinking, because now you're giving them a proven, perfectly sequenced presentation, would that be worth it? I think it's easy math. Confidence, control, sales, and income. Getting even more serious for a moment. What if you could double the amount of business you did last year? That happens all the time, because that result, doubling your close rate, that happens with people using my Pitch Mastery system all the time. Look, I've got one more message from someone who's implemented this stuff, and then we're going to go over to the Q&A. This is Tom Zagainer. He owns our wealth management planning company, and he implemented the Strong Method. This is what Tom said. As a result of using Oren's method, we've seen our closing ratios spike up. We're now closing 6 out of 10 prospects, where previously it was only 3 out of 10. That's a big difference in our business and the highest close rate in our industry. I like that. That's amazing stuff. As I said, It's not uncommon to double your sales once you start using this method. Okay, we're going to kick off the Q&A in 2 minutes, so I want to remind you that when the Q&A ends, the 4 free upgrades we've made available to you on this webinar, they're going to expire. Look, I'm nice, I'm fair, but I'm not completely crazy. And guys, I know nobody likes time pressure. I don't like it, you don't like it, no one does. But I know what Pitch Mastery can do for you. I've seen the results it gets, so I want to give you the strongest possible reason to not delay and get started with this today. And if you're still mulling it over and you think somehow after seeing me here that this will be boring sales training that repeats the same stuff that's in all the books, right? Or maybe you've been burned by bad online content before. I get it. I buy online courses all the time. Why? To make sure we're up there with the best. And I know there's some recycled and out-of-date stuff out there. And again, most of it just boils down to, hey, you should try harder. I'm telling you, today, the win is when you find great training. Take my word for it on Pitch Mastery, but also play it safe. That's why we offer a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. If somehow you're not impressed with the training, feel like this isn't going to work in your industry, once you do the quick start, if you change your mind, decide you don't have time to get better at pitching, whatever the reason, just let my team know inside of 30 days and they'll boomerang your money back to you without any static or question. Again, it's just set up to be nice and easy. Click, get started now. So my team has now put together all the questions for the Q&A. Let's get that started. Here's the first question. Oren, what should I do if the person I'm pitching is super late to the meeting? So frustrating, right? Because it cuts into your presentation time and it makes you seem like a utility, somebody they can just use, stop and go whenever they want. So please never tolerate being treated this way. Tardiness, whether it's intentional or not, is a classic high status play by other people. The minute you let your prospects' lateness, tardiness, not being there dictate what you do in your pitch and your timing, you hand him the high status and you lower yourself and you take the low status position. It's incredibly important that at minimum you call out their behavior for what it is, right? Which is completely unacceptable. You can do this in a non-threatening way that will still make them put pressure on themselves. You want to call them out in a playful way that doesn't make you sound bitter or, of course, needy. One of the lines I like to suggest is something like this. Hey guys, I know you're evaluating us, our product, our service, but we're also evaluating you for fit, right? We came fully prepared. Can you pull your team together in the next 2 to 3 minutes so we can get started? So that's one way to do it. If you want to go softer, you could go like this. Hey, this is hard enough. We only had an hour to get a lot done. Now you're making me pitch my deal faster and explain it better and putting even more pressure on me. Are you just doing this on purpose to see how good I am? What's really going on here, right? So, of course, be playful, but don't let them lower your status. Definitely call out lateness or unprofessional behavior of any kind. One fun thing I do, it's only 7 words, 8 words. You can go, oh, you're here for the 11:08 meeting. Everybody knows what that means. So, all right, that's how you deal with lateness. Okay, next question, we've got one. How much of a time commitment is pitch mastery? So I get this question all the time. First, you can quick start in 10 minutes. Download a pitch deck template, a script, edit, and you're good to go. We've designed the whole system so you can go at your own pace, right? It's self-serve. There's no kind of schedule that you're tied down to. And you can access all the content from pretty much everywhere. Matter of fact, I just had a guy in here who said, I've never seen any of the videos, but I've listened to everything 3 times, right? Because there's transcripts and audio files. So you can easily listen on the go. We record all of the live calls and post the recordings immediately. So you're not required to be there for the live calls, but I can definitely help you more if you do show up and participate. So the good part is, right, we've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that's plenty of time for you to go through the parts of the system that are most relevant to what you're doing right now. Get started right now. 30 days from now, you could have an entirely new pitch deck, a new script, a new pitch, an entirely new scripted sales presentation, and the perfect big idea. So, all right, moving to the next question. How do I get on a call with you inside of Pitch Mastery? That's simple, right? First of all, of course, you sign up for Pitch Mastery now. You have to do that. You'll get everything we talked about today in the members-only community site. That includes access to the live coaching calls, me and my team. So you can see specifically, guys, will you put it up on the screen? show everyone how simple it is to get access to the coaching calls and submit their specific questions to me. This is a good question. I get this a lot. How do I convince my sales manager to change to this approach instead of the old school ways? I mean, sometimes the sales managers are stuck in the old school. And if your approach is built on tactics from guys like Zig Ziglar, Grant Cardone, Tom Hopkins, 99 Ways to Close a Sale, you're doing things like trial closing and trying to overcome objections. That's all bad stuff from the 80s and 90s, and we got to get it out of your presentation. Those tactics are boxing your prospects into a corner and taking away their autonomy. Nobody likes to have their autonomy taken away, and it makes buyers, prospects, customers really uncomfortable. If you feel yourself doing a cheeseball close by Zig Ziglar, Grant Cardone, Tom Hopkins, look, they're all nice people, but none of us like feeling like we want to force a buyer to say the things we want them to say, right? So sometimes sales managers want you to do that. But if you're getting pushback about changing the way your company pitches, right? I would say number one, go ahead and join Pitch Mastery and do it yourself, because I'm going to give you what you need to convince anyone that this works. When your revenue, your sales, your results, your conversion goes up, everyone's going to get convinced right away and wonder what you're doing. And number two, give your boss or manager a copy of Pitch Anything. It works, and normally just reading the book gets people going, aha, this is a better way. So, okay, let's go to the next question. I think I answered this already, but it's always a good question. Is there a payment plan option? Yeah, of course, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, we have a payment plan option. It gets you full access today. I don't know what else I can do to help, right? Like, I'm the content, I'm the expert. I help, I work on your pitch. I do the live calls. The business team, they ask me if I'm okay to do these things. The free upgrades, the payment plan, sure. Within reason, I want to get the motivated people to get into the community without any roadblocks, financial or other. And I just want to say, if you're hung up on the price, right? We hear from people who have used the Pitch Mastery system and the Strong Method on a weekly, daily basis, and they're now closing big deals, increasing sales. It's just as a result of a little bit of training, just like the guys you heard from earlier. That's why I laughed earlier about the retail dollar value, because the ROI, or in finance terms, the return on investment of developing a great pitch, perfect for you, it's just so high. It's hard to attach any price that's realistic. But I really want you to think in terms of real numbers, what it would mean to you if you doubled sales, because that is a realistic outcome. If you'll go for that, I'll go for that, and I'll do it with you. I won't do it for you, right? But I'll do it with you. That's why we offer the 30-day guarantee, because we're confident in the system and because we've seen it work over and over and over again. Again, this isn't like reading a book. Pitch Master isn't something you look at once and then it helps you and then it stops helping you. We're constantly adding new resources, updating you on the latest strategies and techniques, things we're testing in the real world, and giving you direct feedback on what will work, what won't work, and how to improve on the coaching calls. When you try it, I have confidence it will become a tool you'll use again and again, because every time you do, you'll just make more money. Okay, next question. Would this program be helpful in large company B2B sales of software and services? So, yes, I do B2B pitches all the time. That's most of what I do. And there are a few thousand B2B companies using these methods. There's a lot of SaaS, software as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, all that stuff. A lot of those companies, but everything really. Look, I'm seeing a lot of industry-specific questions. People are asking about real estate, financial advising, B2B, B2C, all kinds of stuff. The bottom line is this. The Strong Method: set the frame, tell the story, reveal intrigue, offer the prize, nail the hook point, and get the deal. That method is all about the human brain and how it processes information. So it works for everything. If you need to take the information you have about a product, an opportunity, or an investment, it could even be a promotion at your company, right? If you need to present information, a pitch in a convincing way, this method, the technique, scripts, everything in Pitch Mastery is designed to help you sequence the information you have in the order that the brain of the buyer likes to receive it. You're going to capture attention faster, you're going to hold it longer, and you're going to get to the close easier and better. I've seen that hold true in every industry, industry after industry, and again and again. And if you can find an industry that I don't know how to do or proves me wrong, I'd love to see it. Okay? Hasn't happened yet. All right, man, so being here in the studio with you has been a blast, but I have a day job, and I have to run now and go do it, and also at the end of the day, spend some time with my family and my little boy, which you'll hear more about over time. Again, it's nice and easy to get started. Just click Get Started Now. We'll leave the timer running for the next 15 minutes, and you can get the Pitch Mastery system and all the free upgrades. Sometimes people wonder about my motivation to do this, right? I'll give you a quick example of exactly why I'm 100% committed and dedicated and involved with each member. There's a company called Blockade in Irvine. They took the course, improved their sales. The CEO called me directly. He said, hey, I love the training. What else can we do together? So we met in person. We really hit it off. And he hired me to sell his company, right? And we're talking about an amount that's in the range of $50 million. 60 days after we got hired, there was a buyer, a deal was done, and now he and I are friends. Our sons play hockey together, and we're doing our next deal together. That's the full strength of Pitch Mastery. That's the strength of the community, and that's what I love about it. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so get in, try it. See what this does not only for you and your pitch, but for your confidence while you're delivering it. With this kind of pitch and presentation, you'll be way beyond any kind of traditional sales pitch. We're going to help you beat out your competition, make sales you never thought you'd get, and hit all your revenue, sales, and income goals. Right now, for myself, I'm out of time. I'm off to a hockey game and then back to working on my next big deal. I'm glad we found some time to get together today.
Hi, Oren. I'm Scott Rowan, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio. After reading more than 50 books on sales and pitching, I really found that Oren's approach